Hi everyone, I hope you're well. This is CoinsKid. Just going to dive into Vechain. Once again, thank you for your continued support across the channel. Really do appreciate everything you do for the channel here. The comments, the sharing, the caring, everything that you do to contribute towards the growth of CoinsKid. It's amazing, and I want to thank each and every one of you for the contribution, okay? And I hope you have a really good weekend, and I hope you had a really good weekend, and I hope you have a really good week, okay? That's right, diving into Vechain then. Once again, we've got this level of support right here. I'm going to drop this support line in, because what we're effectively looking at, if we fail to take out this high right here, okay, so we'll mark that in as well for Vechain. Always going to be truthful with you on this channel, always going to show you what we see and potential fallbacks and drawbacks. So at the moment, if Vechain fails to break 2.7, I think it's roughly around there, sort of roughly around that sort of area there, okay, breaking the all-time high. If Vechain does fail to break that, and you can see it's running into a key level of resistance right there. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit so you can see it better. Okay, so if Vechain does fail to break that key level of resistance, which is the all-time high, you can see it's having a go at it and rolls over, okay, it can't afford to lose this key level of support right here. You see this key level of support? If it loses this key level of support, you will be looking at a large correction for Vechain. So we can't have that. We can't have it go down like that, and it's from the body down to there, so it's roughly 26%. So you're looking at something like, if it was to lose that particular level, you could see Vechain come down to sort of that 14 cent mark right there. So I will drop that in there for you, so for future reference. Okay, so Vechain can't lose that key body of support, which currently sits at roughly 19 cents, and you can see the whole time, okay, the EMAs are creeping up and acting beautiful support. And by the time, you know, if it did roll over, what I'm saying is, if it did roll over, failed to make this high, it would look bad. But as long as it didn't lose this level of support, you would just enter a consolidation event, okay, pretty much like you did over there a few weeks ago, where it sort of couldn't top out anymore and just ran out of steam, and it just rolled over and sort of went sideways for a bit and got some of those levels reset. Because to be honest with you, I'm going to be frank, on the weekly time frame, okay, we look a little bit overextended just there. You know, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to look at that and think, you know, well, it needs to cool down a little bit. The RSI is way up there at 93, and you can see that starting to roll as well. So just because these levels do this, though, it doesn't mean that it has to roll over, okay? It's just a healthy thing to see. If it does roll over, it allows the market to sort of catch up with itself, because like I said to you, if you get a little bit too overextended, okay, you have them big mega blow off tops, and you fall through these key levels of support, and that's where you see them larger corrections, which is what you're seeing across the board. But what you've got confidence of the fact that Vechain is really strong is the fact that it did correct yesterday, or the day before, I think it was, when it had that correction, okay, and look at the support there. Look at the buying volume, the bulls stepping in, enormous amount of buying pressure to step in there for Vechain and can keep pushing it up. So if we can now go on, okay, and break this high and get to our price prediction that we outlined in yesterday's video, okay, we can break this high and march on. I would imagine that we would fall on this previous high as a level of support for a bit, because like I said to you, I think I said to you in this wave here, I do think that we've probably got a couple more waves left in this impulsive wave up, because you can see it's sort of running out of steam, okay, basically, and it does need to sort of enter a level of consolidation, pretty much like what it did here. You know, we've always got to be realists. Like here, it went up beautifully, but it rolled over, found support, and it sort of went sideways for a bit. Do you remember that? And so we were targeting this particular pattern here, and we got the breakout. All our targets were met, and right now you can see, you know, given that structure there where you've gone up and you start to roll over, had to go at another eye, fell down, and you found support and just went sideways like that, you could potentially be looking at that for Vechain. If it fails to make this high, okay, if it fails to make this high, it doesn't mean it's going to crash or go to zero. No, it doesn't mean that. As long as it holds key level of support, you won't see it fall any lower than 19 cents, okay? And by then as well, don't forget what you've got is this EMA coming up as well, and you've got this coming up like that. So you could sort of enter something like that if you fail to get through this high, basically, which is perfectly healthy. And again, if it was to fall back and start correcting more, you can't lose that key level of support, because if you do, then you will be looking at a rather large correction there. And if that did come into play, then from its all-time high down to that particular level, you will be looking at a rather large correction of 50% for Vechain right there. If it did do that, start to roll over and did lose that level and come down there, then that could counters that wave 4 that we are anticipating on the Elliott wave theory there, where you know that you're just going to fall back act on a level of support before forming that mega fifth wave up to them new highs and that over the $1.20, $1.50 that we're targeting in the channel. So I just want to reassure you that it's all still good, okay? We're in a bull market and corrections are perfectly normal and perfectly part of the cycle of crypto and any markets. What goes up must come down, so to speak. And when you see it going up parabolically like that, you know, never get involved because you'll end up getting burnt. And you only buy back retests of support after a consolidation event as well, especially. So it's all good. And Vechain is a bear moth, basically. I love the fact that it come down here and got supported so well, because right here, right now, from that bottom, you know, Vechain pumped a mega 58% there, and it's actually up right now 48% from its bottom. So that's amazing. That's absolutely amazing that Vechain pumped that much, you know, and it's found a key level of support. So what an entry zone down there. That's what I mean about putting cheeky bids on these EMAs when you start to see it collapse. Put some cheeky bids on, because, you know, first you'll see a bounce off the 20, and then you'll see a bounce off the 55 if it loses that. So that's Vechain. So far so good. I would anticipate though, if you do fail to get through this level of resistance for much longer, you will see it fall back, you know, and you may potentially have a nice little short trade there, because I do think if it goes any further without getting through, you will have that fallback, and you could be looking at a retest of the 20 at least. So you could have a nice little short opportunity there of Vechain down to that sort of EMA there of a 10% short, take your profit and stuff like that. You know how to do it. So that's basically it. That's Vechain. Hope you enjoyed that video. I'll be back tomorrow with another update, and I'll keep you updated on Vechain every single day. Hopefully we can bust through this level of resistance right now, which is the all-time high, and take us to that price prediction we outlined in yesterday's video. But I want to reassure you, we are in a bull market, and sometimes things correct and sometimes things sort of go sideways, okay? So do take care, have a really good day, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Bye-bye.